On April 20th, Alex, Lexi, Mia, Alex's mom, Lexi's mom, my mom, and I met at the airport in Detroit. Our plane took off and we were on our way to Dallas, Texas. After a brief layover in Dallas, we were back in the air and on our way to Pensacola. We arrived late at night to a very empty airport. Right after we grabbed our baggage, we jumped in a taxi and were in the home stretch to Gulf Shores. It was a tight fit with all of our luggage, but we made it. We woke up the next morning and went out on the beach for the first time for a few hours. We walked to the pier and laid on the beach, and in the afternoon, we went out into the city of Gulf Shores and walked through a few of the shops. One of the ones that we went to a lot during our trip was Surf Style. The next day, we went parasailing in the morning and spent the afternoon walking around town shopping. That night, we had dinner at the Sunliner Diner for the first time, where we had awesome milkshakes. That night, we went to the Hangout for the very first time. They had lots of games and live music. On Tuesday, we spent the morning at the pool before deciding to go and get ice cream at Scoops. We walked around town a little and shopped some more at Surf Style and a few of the other local shops. That afternoon, we decided to walk an hour to Ron Jon's along the beach in Orange Beach. It was a super long walk though, and on our way back, we decided to Uber to get back faster. That night, we went to the hot tub, and when we got back, we made cookies and spent the rest of the evening watching movies together. The next day, we walked around town some more and went back to a few of the shops. For dinner that night, we went back to the Sunliner Diner and used the jukebox. That night, we went back to the Hangout to get dessert and watch the music. Later in the night, the Hangout had a foam party which we participated in, before walking back to our hotel along the beach. Thursday in Gulf Shores was by far the worst day of our trip. In the morning, we went to this cool donut shop that sold crazy donuts called Sassy Bass. But the rest of the day was extremely gloomy and rainy, and we spent a majority of it in our hotel room watching TV. Around 6, we were very hungry though and decided to suit up in our rain gear and run to the Waffle House down the road to eat dinner. Friday morning was spent entirely at the beach before going out into the city for lunch. We walked around a lot, and in the afternoon took lots and lots and lots of pictures. Friday night, we went back to the hangout to play games and sit by the campfire. A little bit later, we decided to get slushies before walking back home. On our way home, we had to grab a few things, and since just about every single store in Gulf Shores had hermit crabs, Alex bothered them at every single store that we went to. Saturday was our last day in Gulf Shores, so we decided to make the most of it. We woke up pretty early and took a long walk on the beach up and down the city. We spent most of the morning either on the beach or at the pool. Around 3 p.m. though, we decided to walk around the city and go to the last shops that we wanted to and eat at the last restaurants. All week, one thing that we really wanted to do but didn't get the chance to was ride scooters. So, on our very last day, we rented scooters and rode around the town. Dinner that night was at Papa Rocco's, an Italian restaurant that had live entertainment.
I know, I want to know too.
That night, Lexi and I walked down to the beach and filled jars up with sand and seashells. At 3 a.m., we jumped in our taxi and were headed back to the Pensacola airport. Once again, the airport was extremely empty, and it was extremely early. But we were all hungry and decided to grab breakfast before boarding our flight. On our flight, it was so early that we were able to watch the sunrise before landing at Ronald Reagan Airport in Washington, D.C. Soon, we were back in the air and on our way home to Detroit, Michigan.